Well, how are you?
I'm very, very good. And do you know why I'm good?
Why?
Because we've got lots of theatre on tonight, and I love theatre.
We have got so much for you this evening, so make sure you click on the little dingle-dongle bell and make sure you subscribe, and welcome to Your Manchester. Well, here we are, joined now by our first guest and a lady that's a regular on our show, and she's bringing us a wonderful play. We've of course got our gorgeous Sue Jenkins, and we've got Bette and Joan.
Hello.
There we are.
Hello. Two Hollywood film stars.
It is,
in the
isn't it?
presence of Your Manchester, because we're talking about Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, aren't we?
We should take the veil off a little bit and introduce yourselves properly.
Well, I'm Julie Edwards, and I'm playing Bette Davis.
And I'm Kerry Willison-Parry, and I'm playing Joan Crawford.
And how does it feel playing such stalwarts of like Hollywood movies?
Wonderful. It's
yeah.
really wonderful. I like the lipstick and the false eyelashes because I never wear false eyelashes.
Me neither.
So I'm in the Boots chemist thinking, how big can I go? Can I get them bigger and bigger and
There
more
are
lush?
other chemists available, of course.
There are, of course.
But of course, the glamour was all part
Oh,
of
yes.
the era.
It was.
But the fighting was as well between these two ladies, and what we saw on screen wasn't necessarily what was happening off screen. They don't half get at each other.
Well, yes.
There is a lot of that going on, yeah. It's all to do with their attitudes towards each other, towards each other, and what they thought about.
And this all takes place over one day, doesn't it?
One day while we were filming Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which we were only saying that actually, even if you don't remember Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, if there is such a person, but a certain generation, everybody's heard of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and it's always just there because it's like a cult now. It's that kind of film. So it's one day while they were filming that film.
Wow, I mean, it is such an iconic film.
Yeah.
And so what do we see then? Do we see them kind of rehearsing scenes? Do we see the scenes taking place? What can we expect?
Well, we see them. We see them talking about their lives, and they reveal all sorts about not only the relationship between each other and what they think of each other, but their past and their lives and the men in their lives and the Hollywood system and how they were treated and their childhood. And then there's lots of sort of recollections and they reminisce, but then when they do come together and there are moments when the sparks fly and they come together and they try to be civil with each other and they try, well, Joan does.
Well,
Joan tries
Joan
to get on
tries.
with Bette.
She tried.
But there's always something that triggers.
Yeah. It's got
Yes.
everything. It really has got everything as a play, because there's all of that Kerry said, and there's the talk to the audience, of course they do, and maybe there's a certain side of them that we see, but then we see them occasionally that we dig deep and we see the very real, raw people that they are.
Oh, well, I hope so.
Oh, I'm very, very excited. Now, this is on at Hope Mill, which we absolutely love that venue anyway.
Yeah, we do too. And I have to say, we feel very privileged to be bringing it there. It's
Yeah.
We're excited
fantastic.
about it.
Yeah.
Well, the work that is performed there goes into incredible.
All of the
Yeah,
good
it's
things go
wonderful.
there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And it's July the 10th is the opening night.
Right.
Yeah.
And we run the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and there's a matinee on the Thursday and on the Saturday. So there's not many performances.
I think I'm taking the week off.
We are
tell you,
definitely
I am
going to
so
see
excited
that.
about
and in an
this.
intimate setting, a two-hander, going to work absolutely fantastic.
We hope
If
so.
you do need some standing,
Okay.
we do this all the time. We are Bette.
Well, there you go.
Do you have the right colour lipstick, do you think?
I've got several colours.
I've got the eye.
Well,
You have got the
if
eye.
you don't chatter so much in rehearsal, it could be a goer actually to
I
recast.
think we're going to be out of a
Yeah,
job.
no,
I
she's
think,
talking about
yeah.
recasting.
We should do behind the scenes of this.
We should.
Oh,
That'd be
you'd
an
be
eye-opener,
very
wouldn't it?
welcome,
Yeah.
honestly. We talk about everything as well as
do.
Betty and Joan.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's been lovely to meet you. Thank you for coming in while you're doing rehearsals.
thank
you.
Huge bit of
Welcome.
preview. So go see this on at Hope Mill, the 10th to the 13th of July.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
It's very
Bette and
exciting.
Joan.
Yes, it's marvellous. And now, to avoid any more feuds, we better hand over to our lovely Hayley over there as well now.
Yeah, she's not being in it though, is she?
No, she'll kick off right royally. She really will. Hayley, it's over to you.
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to On The Box on this fabulously sunny day. Now, Doctor Who fans will be talking about whether Martha will actually return. Now, Freema, who plays her, she said there's a very good chance, so watch out for her. Now, Alison Hammond of This Morning, she managed to get arrested in Italy while filming her segment, and she was last seen running down the street with Phil and Holly laughing their heads off. Now, American Horror Story 1984 will air in September. And also, on a more serious note, what is the cost of lies? Because Chernobyl and Big Little Lies were actually written preempting all the public interest in lies that would develop during Donald Trump's run to become president, the Brexit referendum, and the Me Too campaign. Good news for Game of Thrones fans, as Naomi Watts has said that they will not be let down by the prequel. Richard E. Grant has signed up for the screen adaptation of the hit musical. Everyone's talking about Jamie. Now, Richard will play Hugo, the former drag queen, in the film version. And I'm sure he's going to be absolutely ace, and I cannot wait to see it. Now, for those of you who are unaware of the musical, it's actually based on a true story of Jamie, who overcomes prejudice to become a drag queen. Now, that's it from me. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Well, thank you very much for that, Hayley. That was very insightful and very, very lovely. We're now joined by the one and only Miss Kate O'Donnell. How are you?
I'm good. I'm run ragged.
You run ragged because of this wonderful festival that you're doing.
Yeah, I just think, like I'm not busy enough. I thought I'd create a trans arts festival for Manchester.
Yes.
And for our trans community. And we did one last year.
Yeah.
It went really well. So we thought we'd double the number of trans voices this year. Last year we had 50. So this year I said, let's try and get 100.
Yeah.
And have you managed it?
I think so. We've got one of our events is called 100 Trans Voices. Wow. So we've got at the moment we've got about 60 Manchester trans voices and about 10 performers, and then we've recorded other voices. So
wow.
And that's at the Royal Exchange. Very fancy. Main stage.
Main stage.
Don't you know? I mean, that's fancy.
So what kind of things can we expect then this year? So have you
Well,
got a bit of comedy?
Yeah, there is some comedy. Actually, I was just saying to them that loads of people are doing comedy this year, which is really good, that the trans community want to have a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're starting to stand up and kind of share funny stories, because a lot of the festival is about sharing our trans stories, because we don't get much airtime. And if we do, it's usually negative, or they're kind of worried about our genitals, or they want to know what toilets we're going to. And there's a load more stories that we need to tell. So I've got a trans arts company called Trans Creative in Manchester, and I do okay for my work. I get platforms, so I thought I'll create another platform for trans artists to get involved.
So you open it up for other people then?
Yeah, completely. And people maybe don't get a look in. Like, our first event is Trans People of Colour to celebrate Stonewall. Martha P. Johnson, who threw one of the first bricks, and she
50
was...
years since
50 years, that this weekend. So that's on the
crazy,
29th of June.
Yeah.
So we're celebrating that. We've got a trans male event happening at the City Art Gallery, where trans men are going to look at the clothes collection that the gallery has and talk about feminism, masculinity, men being pregnant, just their relationship with clothes, image and masculinity. Wow. But of course I'm very excited about the Royal Exchange show on Sunday, because I'm in it. Do you know what I mean? I've written a new piece, because I was in 12th Night there 2 years ago. And it was the first time they'd cast a trans person to play this character as a trans person. And so I thought I'll go back and do a little show on the same stage 2 years later and kind of answer my critics. Because there was a few...
Sure, there was no critics.
There was a couple. I think the Oldham Evening Gazette wasn't very kind. Just saying.
The what?
Yes. Exactly. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm worn out.
Yes.
So we need bums on seats, and it really is for Manchester. I was saying to you before that I think we're really cheeky, Manchester, aren't we? We went for the Olympic Games and we got the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
So I think, well, let's start small, but it's kind of grown, and now we're in really big venues.
And it's called Trans Vegas. I absolutely love
Do you love that?
name.
Because what happens in Trans Vegas stays in Trans Vegas. So it's a really safe, fun space for trans people to come and enjoy, meet our community, and for Manchester to come and meet the trans community as well. Exactly. That's the plan.
So when's it on?
It's on from this Saturday, the 29th
Yes.
of June, and it goes to the 3rd of July.
That is amazing.
So we've got 6 events. We've also got a lovely yoga event, yoga and meditation for trans yoga. Thanks.
Wow.
I think I've invented it because I couldn't actually find a trans yoga teacher.
What made you want to put something like that in the middle of all this?
I went to India
Right.
this year and I did a lot of yoga and meditation, and I thought, well, we really need to raise trans spirits this year, because last year we took a bit of a battering. So I thought, in the middle of the festival, I'm going to create a space where trans people can come and kind of relax, kind of do something for their well-being. And also I'm really glad now because I'll be knackered by then.
Yes.
So I'll be
you'll
glad to
wanting
do some
join in,
yoga.
Did you find an instructor who was trans?
No, I didn't. But I found someone trans to do the meditation, but I found somebody who wants to encourage trans people to do yoga and is offering bursaries, like free yoga courses for them to become yoga
See, yoga,
teachers.
I always find yoga a bit too physical. Meditation's easy.
I'm good
yoga,
with a downward dog.
No,
Oh, you can do a downward dog.
I can do
Should
a
we-
downward
well,
dog. No, I'm not doing it.
Come
on.
on.
But I can do a downward dog. I'll show
I
you
love a
later.
downward dog. I like an upward dog. I like any type of dog.
You've got to the end of the show to warm yourself up, and then let's see a downward dog. All right.
Namaste.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming
my
in
God,
today.
thank
I am
you.
really, it sounds marvellous apart from the yoga.
Can I just say, I love your hair.
Thanks very much. Ta-da.
Wow.
Next week,
There's a lot
that
of
is going
it.
to be me.
I dare you.
Yeah. And I think this represents the festival. You know, trans people should be more visible, bold,
Yeah.
and a bit fabulous. you know.
Absolutely.
Well, we've got to move on to our next guest now. Come in,
All
Michelle.
right,
well,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right then, here we are. Let's jog back over. We don't stop today, shall we? Honestly, we are not stopping. But this one is very much food for thought, because this is, of course, Salford Mines. Now, what is it, first of all?
I'm Markus from Salford Mines
Yeah.
in Salford, and we've got a new project called Rainbow Mind, which is a mental health project for people from the LGBT plus community. When people grow up in the LGBT community, they can experience a lot of internalised shame and take on the message that there's a part of them that's not okay, really. So consequently, you know, there's really high levels of mental health issues within the LGBT plus community. And lots of kind of issues around alcohol misuse and drug misuse. So we thought we'd create a project that was trying to support people who are experiencing those issues because of difficult experiences growing up with their identity and their gender.
And how does that work then, this support? What kind of things are you offering in terms of help?
So we're trying to raise awareness and start the conversations about mental health. It's not a very popular subject within the LGBT community. We're kind of taught to be proud of who we are, and absolutely we all should be.
Yeah.
But also there's a bit of an underbelly going on about, you know, people aren't okay, people are suffering in our community. So we're trying to raise awareness around that, raise awareness around the stigma about it. We've also got some interventions. One's called RADSEC, which is Radical Self-Care. And it's an 8-week course, a little bit like the previous person was talking about meditation. It involves meditation, but also about supporting people to be able to better befriend themselves and learn to like themselves. You know, and kind of have an alternative to that internal dialogue we can have, that negative narrative we can have about ourselves as LGBT people.
Such a good point, isn't it? It's one thing asking people to like you, it's another thing asking yourself to like yourself.
And I think
Yeah.
that's where you should start. I mean, if you don't love yourself, how can anybody
Yeah.
really kind of love you, or you can love other people? So I think it's great, but
Absolutely.
how can people get involved then and kind of reach out to you guys?
They can go onto our website, which is all the W's, rainbowmind.org, or they can tweet us at mindsrainbow. And they can sign up to do the 8-week courses. We're running it from the LGBT Foundation in the centre of Manchester.
Does it cost anything?
No, it's absolutely free to access. We're doing this across the whole Greater Manchester and London as well, with colleagues in London too. And we're really trying to make a difference within the community to try and create a bit of a groundswell where people start to love themselves and be proud of who they are, and, you know, sort of enjoy kind of more productive lives with a better handle on the negative messages they might have got growing up about their sexuality and their identity.
It's got to help, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I think if you're helping one person and then they, you know, turn their life or their mindset around, then they're more likely to go and give help to somebody else, aren't they? And I suppose that's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of creating a community where people are nicer to each other within the LGBT community as well. People can be a bit horrible with each other within the community as well, as we all know as LGBT people. But we're trying to create a bit of love within the community, I guess, and for us all to understand where we've come from and the struggles we've had. And that's an excuse for us all to come together and kind of try and change things. You know.
So once again, where can we access, first of all, Salford Mines?
Yeah, so you can go onto the Salford Mind website, which is mindinsalford.org.uk, or there's a specific Rainbow Mind website, which is all the W's, rainbowmind.org, or they can tweet us at Rainbow Mind.
And the
Minds
8-week
Rainbow.
course is running when?
It's starting in July the 17th at the LGBT Foundation, so we really want people to sign up.
And you have only just launched this, so this is going to be ongoing. So
It
it's not
has.
something that, you know, if somebody's watching it now and is kind of thinking, well, I'll think about it, they can still, you know, get involved in like a
Absolutely.
month's time or whatever.
Yeah,
I think
we
it's so
just,
useful to be doing things like this. I really think it's just
really
brilliant.
needed in the community.
It
yeah,
really, really
so
is.
It feels good.
Thank you very much for coming in today and telling us all about this. I think it's, like I say, it's going to help so many people just knowing there's somewhere to access, really. Well, thank you very much. That's really good, that, isn't it?
That was fantastic.
We're going to have to move.
Oh, dear.
We're up here now. We're going to be dealing with something very important. Come on. There we go. So here we are. We're joined by these two beautiful people. Looking very, very good in your get-up.
Well, they don't look like they've got 99 first world problems, but apparently that is what your show is all about.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's what our show's about. So we're taking 99 first world problems to lots of fringes this summer. So we're going to Buxton, we're coming to Manchester, and then we're going to Morecambe, because everyone needs a seaside break.
It's true. What is it about?
What's it about? Well, it says, it's pretty much on the tin, really. Like we have a lot of first world problems, we know a lot of other people do, and we know you can do very little about them. So what we offer is that you come to our show, you join our crew, you join in the songs, we give you a job to do while you're there, and then we rant, essentially, about things we can do nothing about, and get it off our chest. That's the plan.
Yeah. What jobs do you give people? If we were to come then, you know, and be part of your crew, what would you tell us to do?
No, we can't say what jobs we give. That would give away the show.
Oh dear.
Come on.
This is my lead backup dancer. This is Anna J.
You are looking fly.
Oh, fly. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
See, I'm down with the kids. I've got like my MC
really
Hammer
not.
pants on and everything tonight.
You're the
That's
kid.
true.
That's true.
But there's rapping that goes on. Cause
There's loads of rapping,
You're the
yeah.
lead backup dancer.
Yeah, lead backup
you
dancer.
are Mr. Rapper.
I am the Mr. Rapper, yes I
Are
am.
you going to rap for us then?
You want to hear some rap?
Yeah, we do.
Oh my goodness. Anna J, what do you want to do? Do you want to do a little bit a cappella?
Yeah, go on then.
favourite
But I'll
dance.
do some moves as well.
Shall we do meal deal?
Yeah, go on then.
This is about meal deals.
Love
okay.
it, love it, love it.
You ready to do your bit?
Yeah,
So
all
we've got to do it. We've got no sound, so this
Yeah,
is
we can
difficult
do
for a
it.
rapper. We're used to turntables and stuff. It's very nearly the same rap
Right,
track.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
So
all right.
that's not part of the.
Meal deal.
That's not a part of
A
the.
meal deal.
That's not a part of
A
the.
meal deal.
No, I want no part in you.
Meal deal.
Now I like a sandwich, full and firm. When you push down on the bread, then the filling all squirms. I like my rolls crusty, like an old geezer. Continental meats that'll soon need a visa. Don't like prep, don't have the time, which is why I think a meal deal's so fine. There's crisps and a Coke in the bundle, sorted. Not £3, I feel extorted. What is this? I don't have enough. You look at me, you say this guff
That's not part
of the.
meal deal.
You get the idea.
I love it, I love it. That's going to stay in my head all
I
night.
feel I need to see Salford Mines right now. I really do, honestly. That is wonderful stuff, isn't it? And that's just one of them.
That's just one of
You've
them.
surely got an album coming out soon.
We've got two.
2 albums coming out.
There's our second album this year. You can go and find it on Spotify and all that.
Oh, you're on Spotify?
We're on
Yeah.
Spotify.
But you are part of the Manchester Fringe Festival, aren't you?
Yes.
So that's why we've got you in
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when can we see you? When
So-
we can hear more of these meal deals?
As part of our tour, we're at the Buxton Fringe. So if you're out that way, you might go there. That's on the 6th
Yeah.
of July. And then on the 12th, we're here at Gulliver's in Manchester.
Okay.
That's a 8:30 p.m. show. So late show, dangerous. And then 2 days later, 14th, we're at Morecambe at Alt Space. That's
Can I bring my glow sticks?
You can bring your glow sticks, you
Yeah,
can
wait,
whatever you like.
Yeah, don't get carried away though. You know, there's only one lead backup dancer.
She's very insecure.
No, you
Yeah.
play, Shell. No, you
All right, all right.
I love it. That was impressive, to
Yeah,
say
that
the
was really
least.
good. Yeah.
It really was.
not bad.
Well, thank you very much for... What have you done?
I might have broke the microphone, but then
Okay.
that's rock and
Uh-oh.
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's smash a telly. Hey, smash a telly. We look forward to seeing that. Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic. Before you go, though, you have to learn my favourite rap word, which is shabba. Okay, so I say shabba and you say bitch. Let's try this. Shabba. Thanks. That was a bit... It was a bit late, but never mind. It's the taking part that counts. Titters, let's go to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be very, very good, doesn't it? Very, very hip-hoppy and all that
Very
stuff.
hip, a bit like our Colin. Hello.
Hello there.
Busy bee, you were last week, weren't you?
I was. I had a fabulous day on Sunday, going around having a look at the parade, and then joining in a bit of dancing, a little bit of the Royal Northern College of Music with their you've got an orchestra as a backing band
Yeah.
for the singers in Cathedral Gardens.
Oh, you got very excited
got-
about that, didn't
I
you?
loved that bit, and then I had a little dance behind a crowd of kids. In fact, I just took over really.
Well, what's exciting you this week? Because I heard it's somebody that makes you go, rah.
It is. It's the Lionesses, the England women's football team.
Oh, it's absolutely gripping, isn't it?
It is rather good, and we've got a good selection of the England players, Manchester-based.
The thing that is cementing them is they've got, you know, somebody behind them who is an amazing, amazing manager and coach.
Mr. Phil Neville is what's it, local Berry boy.
Yeah.
And also, he's got that added pressure that his sister is a winner.
Exactly.
So hopefully by the time we broadcast this,
Yeah.
we'll be looking forward to a semi-final against either America or France, depending on
We'll trash the Americans.
and what have you. So that's what we're hoping for just after broadcast. And then possibly win it, go along and win it. But again, it's a time, we've got to beat Norway first to get there.
So next week you're with us in Cathedral Gardens again.
Right.
For the Manchester International Festival.
Oh, right.
And we're going to get you in deep with the food and everything around that, okay? That's your task for the day.
Oh,
That's
dear
such
me.
a hard one.
We're going to be bringing Richard and Judy for the day.
Are we?
Yeah, we are excited.
Yeah, right.
That's coming up next week. We are, of course, talking about the launch of the Manchester International Festival. That is coming your way next week. Thank you to all our guests and our lovely people today. You've been absolutely fantastic. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click on the dingle dongle bell. You are in for a treat if you watch the wonderful programme known simply as Your Manchester.